Welcome back, everyone.
We got ourselves a new game to play for y'all.
One of my favorite games.
As is mine.
All time. Dave and I are actually going to be fighting over who's playing it. I somehow procured first run, so...
Because you jacked the controller.
Yes, I did.
I like how obvious it is that footage they have for the pre-roll is recorded because it's in such a shit resolution.
Yep.
And it's artifacted beyond belief.
Alright, so we're just going to play as Joe, and we're going to do adult, because
we're adults, motherfucker.
And these are just God, like God came down and said, no.
But as all you fine folks can see, because I have Captain Blue unlocked, that means I have managed to beat Ultra V-rated before. I'm gonna sit here and stroke my dick for y'all.
We're letting the cutscenes play.
You didn't get to see my mad skills, but you can see the fruits of my mad skills. Back when I was a younger lad.
You know what I like about this production, or this the group that makes these games, is they will always
Clover/Platinum, because they're basically Platinum.
Yeah,
now.
It's Platinum. What I love about Platinum is whatever game they're working on, that's gonna be the team name. Like their team is Team Viewtiful. The Bayonetta team was Team Angels. What was Wonderful 101? I think it was just Team
Wonderful.
Yeah. And I love they will always insert their name somewhere in the game. Or in the case of Wonderful 101, fucking Platinum is the final kind of weapon.
Now, did you know what HMD stands for?
I don't actually.
It stands for His Master's Dance.
Is that a reference to something?
I believe it is. I'm gonna quick look that up again.
Is it like a band or something that... Oh God, what's the director's name?
Kamiya.
Yeah, thank you.
Hideki Asshole Kamiya. I love that man.
Who doesn't?
He's one of the few people he's one of the few, I guess, quote-unquote celebrities who gets away with being a total asshole.
Yeah, if you make fun of him on Twitter, he just makes fun of you back.
And you probably deserve it. Well, I can't say I blame him, because of, like, all the shit he gets on Twitter for just no reason. Like, you remember the whole Bayonetta 2 shit, and the Bayonetta 2 shit is still happening.
About how it's a Nintendo exclusive?
Yeah, and people are spamming his Twitter over it.
Do people not realize, like...
No, they don't!
Like, Nintendo was the only ones who were gonna front the money for it?
Exactly.
They wanted to? Because, despite of how awesome Bayonetta was, it had, I think, abysmal sales on PlayStation and Xbox.
They weren't abysmal sales,
but they weren't.
But they weren't Call of Duty sales or anything like that. And that's what really disappoints me about the industry these days. Is
it's not Call of Duty. It's not worth it.
Yeah. And it's very much the problem of this being a publisher-driven industry now, more than a developer-driven industry, is developers tend to care more about reception. I mean, of course, they have to care about sales, because they are in this to make money. But they also are doing this, to make people happy. They want people to enjoy their products. So a game may not have phenomenal sales.
That title music! Oh, a dick! But anyway.
A game may not have phenomenal sales, but if it has a moderate success as far as sales go, and it gets great reception...
Like, look at... Okay, this is a completely different genre. Look at Stalker, okay? No, not great sales, but it has such a cult following that they decide to keep making the games. And I mean, I love Stalker.
Yeah.
Except Clear Sky. Fuck Clear Sky. But Call of Pripyat, I have just hundreds of hours just dumped into that game.
No, like, then you get to publishers. Publishers don't give a shit. All they care about is the bottom dollar. Which is why... Ugh. Capcom. Capcom, man. Capcom just ruined everything that was fucking phenomenal in gaming. They cut off Mega Man because it doesn't sell as well anymore. And then they basically decided to, you know, completely ignore the franchise entirely.
They canned this series after the second game.
Well, they canned this. They didn't so much can it as they reabsorbed they reabsorbed Clover back into them.
Yeah.
Because, like, Viewtiful Joe 2, and Okami did not see the sales of, like, huge games like, well, Call of Duty wasn't the de facto sales standard at the time.
No.
But, like, it wasn't pulling in Zelda numbers or Mario numbers or any of that shit. I mean, both games incredibly well loved, but they just didn't pull in the titanic numbers that Capcom was unreasonably expecting.
Right.
So they were like, well, we tried an interesting thing with Clover Studios, but it didn't work out. So they reabsorbed them back into the company and kept a hold of all the properties that they made, but the move did not make any of the Clover members happy,
right.
Which is why a lot of them... Well, and then they just kind of ignored all of their franchises, too. Like, don't knock that down yet.
Yeah.
Jump on it. But they just ignored all their franchises that they put out, like Viewtiful Joe and Okami. They did do Okami Den, which I never actually played that one, but I remember it being okay from what people were telling me.
I kind of want to play it, but I just never got around to doing it.
Did you play Okami?
I have not.
Oh, shit, man. You gotta. Like, that... It has a bit of a long tutorial section, but it does stand toe-to-toe with Zelda, if not surpass it in a lot of ways. Ooh. As far as the adventure dungeon formula goes.
Okay.
Like, it's a fucking... It's an awesome game, it's a beautiful game. But yeah, then, you know, Capcom just threw them all essentially in the garbage. Just said, nah, they don't matter.
Come on. Come on.
Jump. Oh, Greg Berger.
Ah, shit. At least he doesn't.
You fabulous bastard.
Is that who plays Captain Blue?
Yep.
Nice.
He did such amazing voice work as Grimlock in the G1 Transformers. He played, let's see here. He did the Gromble from Ah Real Monsters.
Nice.
He did quite a bit. He's a fucking awesome voice actor. And then we got D. Bradley Baker here. Baker or is it Parker? But
what I love about this is you quickly learn what Joe's personality is, because all you had to say was the word tension.
Yeah, he's just like, oh man,
but he spices
sweet.
it up. I mean, if you can gather that from the first, like, 2 minutes of the cutscene, but...
Well, before I go on another tangent, interesting little fact, Joe's voice actor is also the same actor who played, or voice actor who played Olmec.
I didn't know
from
that.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That's awesome, actually.
And he does a shit ton of, like, animal and monster voices in cartoons and movies and stuff.
Right.
And it's fucking crazy to actually watch him make those animal noises. Like, it's on Netflix right now. You should look it up. It's called I Know That Voice.
Okay.
And it's just it's a cool documentary about like what being a voice actor is like, how they get their jobs, how they get their roles, what it's actually like doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
And they bring in just a shit ton of voice actors. Like the thing was produced by John DiMaggio, so obviously he's in there. They get Mark Hamill. They get Ed Asner in there, and his intro bit is just fucking great because it's just he's sitting there in a chair and he's just, I'm Ed Asner and I'm a voice actor. And he pulls out a fucking switchblade, clicks it, and points it at the camera. Cut.
Oh my god.
But yeah, then they got Joe's voice actor on there, and they didn't mention Viewtiful Joe from what I recall.
Shame.
But they do go over like a lot of his animal noise stuff, and
Shit, what was that?
it's just crazy to watch him. Because if you see the guy, it's not the type of face you would expect to be making those noises.
See, I know do I have to go through the door right away?
You can get the coins for money.
Yep.
Don't. I think the slot might stop once you get all these, so you should try to get the money first.
Yeah. Fuck. We're not really going for rankings. I mean, rankings are cool and everything, but
Well, we need the money for
Yeah.
power-ups. Ah, that was another thing I loved about this game, was when you get far enough away from money, it just auto-collects.
yep. Because I sat there dicking around the slot machine, my time's gonna suck, but whatever.
Yeah, who cares? Oh boy.
And even though this is only like a 2D side-scroller-esque thing, you really gotta look around a lot to find everything. God, I need my zoom ability. Sucks without it.
That spin kick, man. That spin kick.
Well, not even a spin kick, but like the zoom and just punch maneuver.
So, I gotta ask you, you take a look at Viewtiful Joe. What do you think the lead inspiration for a character like Viewtiful Joe is?
I don't know, to be honest. If you would ask me the same with Wonderful 101, I'd say they did a lot of elements from Viewtiful Joe into that game.
Well, I mean, like as far as pop culture goes.
I couldn't say, to be honest.
Oh, well.
Ah, shit.
You just made my little test slightly more boring. I was figuring you were going to say Power Rangers.
Oh.
But,
And then you were gonna segue into it to,
But I was going to say, if you said Power Rangers, you would actually be more wrong.
because it's based off of, I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, it's
Shit.
actually pulls a lot more of its inspiration from Kamen Rider.
Right.
Like, hence the mask. In fact, Power Rangers, or Sentai, I think actually pulled a lot of its inspiration from Kamen Rider, because I think Kamen Rider came first.
Okay.
But things like the mask, like just the way the transformation happens,
I'm actually gonna die here.
and most notably the scarf.
Right, the scarf's just iconic as all hell.
Because, like, the very first Kamen Riders, like 1, 2, and V3, all, the scarf was a very distinguishing feature from them.
Sure. Oh shit.
And then, on the note of Wonderful 101, well, actually let me check something here. Ah, well, I'll finish that
Tangent later.
that little tangent next time on Getting Comfy.
Bye everyone.
Whee!